You ready for another episode of Finally You Now with your host, Katie? So today I'm going to talk to you about the color red. I have a fun story as part of my journey. So a long time ago, I was in Saudi Arabia enjoying a vacation. I had family that lived there and was visiting. And I met a new friend of family members and we were shopping at a mall. And I found this beautiful, gorgeous red purse, and I absolutely loved it. However, I had a little block about the color red. And part of that block was my associations with the color. So I would associate power and control with the color red. And so when it came to this purse, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to get it because I have a hard time with this color red. And I had this awesome friend, her name was Connie. And she also happened to be a redhead, which is fun because my sister's a redhead as well. And she said, it could be fun if you just reinvented what the color means to you. Like you can change the meaning of the color at any time. And she noticed when I first picked up the purse that my eyes lit up, that I really admired the fun, bold colors. I loved the shiny shimmer of it. And I was in a foreign country, so it's not like I could go home and just Amazon this purse, right? I couldn't just get this purse any other place. This was a once in a chance opportunity. And it was the only one at this particular store, which was an international store. And so, long story short, she was like, if you don't buy this purse, I'm going to buy it for you because it really suits you. It's fun, it's sparkly, it shines like you. And it's this fun, vibrant, bold color that really represents the person that I've gotten to know. And so when I had this experience, it was an early process for me of rewriting internal narratives and the opportunity to know, we know this with our neural pathways, that we can recreate new neural pathways and we can overcome old programming. And with autonomy and agency, we can rewrite how we define things at any time in our life. Being a recreational therapist, I have taught patients about overcoming negative narratives and rewriting those with positive narratives or reality orientation of outweighing our own biases. And ethically, as a therapist, I have to be aware of my own biases and things like this as well. So one thing I want to talk about to you today when it comes to anything in your life is empowering you to rewrite those narratives and empowering you to have the ability to change what you value and how you define things. And I think this is integral to Finally You Now, because as we age and as we grow, our values change, our interests change. The person that we are and the things that matter to us can significantly change depending on the stages in life and seasons that we're in. And so, this is really important and something that I wanted to emphasize on the station. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to comment below. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I'd like to hear what kind of things that you've overcome. What are some of the tools and tricks that you have applied in your life that have been successful in helping you overcome some of that past programming that you've had, whether it was your upbringing, whether it was what mom or dad said, whether it was societal expectations, and how have you rewritten those narratives to meet you in your journey where you're at and to serve you in a healthy, positive way. Fast forward a few years later in my life, and I remember being at a specialty office working on some personal things, and I was asked what my favorite color was. And I just sat there. I was not sure what my favorite color is. Most times when I get that response, I'll say it's the whole rainbow. I like all the colors. And I wanted to be really honest with myself of like, what is my favorite color? And why do I like that color? Now, mind you, I had a red bag, I had a red jacket, and a red coat on. And I didn't want to say that the color was red, even though I have had finally at this point rewritten what the color red meant to me. There was another block that came up that I discovered in this conversation. And in this conversation, this individual that was working with me said, it's interesting that you have a hesitation to express your favorite color, and yet you're wearing all this red, and you have a red purse and a red this and that, right? And I was like, well, today I really like red, but tomorrow I might really like yellow. And what we found out that block is I felt like I wasn't being honest with myself or others if my favorite color changed. And I had a great conversation with this individual who said, again, rewriting this narrative, what's wrong with having a different favorite color every day? And if it makes you feel better, like you're being more integritous or honest, to say, today my favorite color is red. And then maybe tomorrow, when you're wearing yellow, you could say, today my favorite color is yellow. And then I'm being honest in my verbiage and authentic to what my favorite color was. And that may sound really simple or silly, but it's amazing what kind of things can come up and block us in our progress or in our communication. And so this was just another layer of that spiral of unraveling things that get in our way, whether it's self-sabotage, whether it's subconscious programming, all those types of things. And so it's really, when it comes to Finally You Now, it's allowing yourself the freedom and autonomy to change your definitions and to have the wiggle room to choose different things, even if it changes daily. That's part of Finally You Now. So thank you for joining me. I'm excited to get another episode out shortly. I'm going to try to I'm working on being consistent with having these come out every week and connecting with you. So thank you again for watching Finally You Now. I can't wait for you to have some more fun with me next week.